At the same time, that if you want to argue there's valid criticism, there's also a tribe who, I don't know, they found a niche and they rather enjoy making, I don't know, very critical of women, right? The content. So like MGTOW, if you've heard of them before, MGTOW. Almost to an embarrassing degree. It is to an embarrassing degree because a lot of, you know, you don't really have to make yourself like a better version of yourself or anything. Just join MGTOW and just like make help. And because they're, you know, that because of some valid concerns, right? Where you have to be concerned that along with any other group is being used, you know, even you know, by it's like this false piety, false austerity kind of thing. False outrage, false piety, and false austerity. Now, in the past, women's liberation movement had brought equality, you know, between men and women, and actually made their life worse. It made things more fair, which didn't go in their favor in any instances. And before, the courts used to just automatically award custodies and things like that to women. But nowadays, women are being positioned throughout false, by, you know, by they're being used in false piety and false austerity, and put in all of these positions where they're least likely to excel, than to make, you know, foster a lot of animosity. You know, recently Kamala, right, since circumventing meritocracy, you know, nobody voted for her. Now all of a sudden, right, a lot of people were pissed off at the fact that you can, you know, kind of suck your way up to the top and then present yourself as a role model for a community that you don't belong. You know, because you're black doesn't mean you belong to African American community. And so they're going back and forth between, oh no, she is black. You know, okay, she's black, you got me, but that's not a qualification. What are you doing? Do you want the first female president to be like this? Do you really want, like, these are not going to be like, these are things that they want you to ask for because we like the first time anything, but it's going to be something like leave a bad taste in your mouth because of the way that they abandon. So when, not the female, I mean talking about the white knight, because it's going to make it seem like women are ruining everything. They're ruining the military, they're ruining, you know, everything, like, and they get abandoned in the capacity that they get dropped off in these positions that they probably never really wanted. They're going to act like they don't mind everybody hating them, but I don't think women are like that. You know, I mean, I think I would be better off if everybody hated me than practically any woman on earth would feel if everybody hated her. So drop that right there, because that's not the reason why we do things. That's not the reason why. So like when they get, and this is all Chucky Schumer's fault. This is all because he's the main white knight. He's the main one taking advantage of, you know, from their own sensibilities that they agree with things that sound like, equity, inclusion. Like, how are you going to disagree with that stuff? You don't know why that they would want to bring these in, but they were going to drop you into these positions where it's like the weakest link in the chain, and everybody's pissed off and everybody hates women. Like, then, because of the false piety and stuff, then when it's time to flip and switch, these guys are going to vanish. Like, that guy's going to vanish and leave you in that responsibility. However you're removed, I don't know. I mean, it could be like some of these businesses you don't want, like, you want to function in that role, because getting removed from that role doesn't necessarily mean you just get fired. You know what I mean? So, banking on upsetting these concerns and driving right now, it seems to be the hustle play, make your opposition mad. You don't really even know enough your opposition well enough to say that there aren't some things that we wouldn't willingly be mad about, and that is in itself a form of inner peace. Like, because you need a healthy amount of hatred for his shenanigans, because there's no cease and there's no end to it until you're willing or ready, right, to. And who knows what you're being shaken down? You can't even evaluate it. What will you be giving up? You know what I mean? Who are you actually turning on? Because these practices are like meant to look like, good and everything. How could you not rock with it? How could you be against that? You must be a this or that. You must be a that or this. Well, so that's emotionalism. Like, that's why they're splitting the women, because women are more susceptible to that than we're more brand specific, so that doesn't really work on us. And that's why it's a man who's like Chuck Schumer whose fault this is, because he should know better, but he has to look at you over his slit eyeglasses, his rectangle slit eyeglasses. He looks at people over them, and you feel like you're doing something wrong. Lets everybody know that you're on the chopping block. You're free to hate. Everybody's free to hate you. You're like a gift offered up to the mob, And then one day he's going to turn it around and act like he was never about that right there. He was never with that. He's never doing that, He wasn't one, because it's like plausible deniability. You can always say that you were trying to ascertain what was necessary and then do what was needed in your capacity as acting member. You're a fucking actor. I don't know. We shouldn't really get too upset, because it apparently, he's like, sponsoring all this equity shit, like, making boomers and poor people confused, and your mom's crazy, and she can never admit somebody who is like a scumbag before, have to be like pounded like right in front of her face, but then it's always somebody, an association or something with them. So it's like Harvey Weinstein or Epstein, or these are people around the Clintons, not them themselves. And so they've always been possibly deniability. In her mind, she's always cut them a pass, no matter how much willing, open air fucking drug dealing or child trafficking goes on. It was never that. Like, you really got to look into what Trump is doing, because if you could imagine, he's way worse. And then sit there and watch news, and like, she's been the whole time like absorbing like all this information or something. I'm a news junkie. No, the hell you're not. And why would you want to be?